It's interesting to find out what famous people are actually like. A lot of prominent people are not that great, honestly. And you know that because they're not loyal to the people who work for them. Loyalty is a prerequisite for an honorable life, and Dana White has demonstrated it to the people around him. He's also loyal to his friends, even if his friends turn out to be the most controversial people in the world. And Dana White is friends with Donald Trump. They've been friends for decades. And as a result of that, he spoke when Trump asked him at the Republican National Convention in 2016. Took a lot of heat for that, but he didn't care. He's not afraid. That maybe is the most obvious point about Dana White. He's just not afraid. Maybe because he doesn't work at some dumb nonprofit or the Washington Post. He's in a very violent sport. In any case, he was not afraid to tell us about his relationship with Trump, and it was worth hearing. Here's part of it. So I talked to Trump yesterday about you, and he described you as the only essential person in all American sports. He said you could take key people out of any sport, and the sport would continue. If Dana White left UFC, there couldn't be UFC. Now, I don't know what you think of that assessment, but it did make me wonder how long you're the same age as I am, 53. How long are you going to do this?
Well, I love him, and I appreciate that. And hopefully I've built a business over the last 22 years that no matter who comes and goes will last and continue to grow. I also know for a fact that when I do leave, the right person needs to be in place to take over, because there is a formula to this business. Many other people have tried it. Many people are trying it right now as we speak and have not been successful. And I know why they haven't been successful. I know exactly why they haven't been successful. And when I watch them, running their businesses, I just shake my head and go, yeah. So hopefully when I do decide to leave, which isn't going to be anytime soon, because I still love what I'm doing, I'm still as passionate about it as I was day one, I have the right people in place. Plus, I've built a phenomenal team here. Phenomenal team. No one guy just does anything. You need a really great team to surround yourself with, and I've done that, and that's why, there's no way that I was going to let any of these people leave when COVID hit.
I knew that you knew Trump, and I knew you were a Trump supporter, broadly speaking. I didn't realize you were like a legit old friend of Trump's because of work. Can you explain that?
He's a very, very good friend of mine. Donald Trump has been such a good friend to me since the day I met him. We originally, when we bought this company had such a bad stigma attached to it in the sport that we couldn't even get into venues. Venues didn't want us. And Donald Trump saw that this thing could possibly be big. Plus, he's a sports guy. He loves sports. And he offered us to come do the event at the Trump Taj Mahal in Atlantic City. Cut us a very fair deal. We went down there and we did 2 events with him. He showed up for the first fight, stayed till the last fight. And you can imagine back then, Trump brand here, UFC brand down here.
Yeah.
But he took us in and he was great. Everything that ever happened to me in my career after that day, the first guy to reach out and say congratulations was Donald Trump. Whether it was
amazing.
A letter. We were on the cover of the New York Times one time, and he said, I always knew you were going to do it, Dana. Congratulations, and sent me the paper. Sent me a pen one time congratulating me. Always sending something and saying congratulations. Like a guy who was genuinely happy for your success.
There aren't a ton of those.
No. And then came the day he was running for president, and he reached out to me. He called me one day, and he said, he started the conversation like this. If you don't want to do this, I completely understand, and there are no hard feelings. But I would be honored if you would speak for me at the National Republican Convention. I said, I'll be there.
Donald was the first guy that recognized the potential that we saw in the UFC and encouraged us to build our business. He hosted our first 2 events at his venue. He dealt with us personally. He got in the trenches with us, and he made a deal that worked for everyone.
So you're the best, man. You've always been a great guy to me. You've been a good friend to me. And I spoke that day. And let me tell you what, after that day when I spoke for him at the convention, our friendship went to a whole nother level. This guy's been so good to me, it's unexplainable.
That's fascinating.
Yeah.
In a window into something that we don't get to see. Did you take a lot of abuse for that, or do people just accept that this is a real friendship?
Yeah, I'm in the abuse business. We take abuse every day. So I don't know. You'd have to explain to me what the abuse on the Trump side would be. I get it. There's people, this is what's sad. Obviously I did not vote for President Biden. He's my president. He's the president of the United States right now, and I'm American. I don't dislike or hate anybody who voted for Biden. The fact that you're the type of person that would actually hate somebody because of who they voted for shows me exactly who you are. I don't want to know you anyway.
Yeah.
You're not my kind of person, and I don't want to be friends with you either. So the feeling is very mutual. And it's not because of who you voted for. It's because of how you carry yourself. Who you vote for or what you decide to do with your life means nothing to me. That's your own personal choice. In America, this is a free country, and you can choose to vote or do whatever you want to do with your personal life.